Mad King in the White House, How Trump is Destroying America, and welcome to The American Impact, a program of People's Economy. We dive into the latest chapter of Donald Trump's presidency, a chapter that reads more like a dystopian novel than a political reality. The man who sees himself above the law has now crowned himself, quite literally, as a king. In a recent post on Truth Social, Trump declared, "Congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all of New York saved. Long live the king." Yes, you heard that right. Now self-proclaimed monarch is celebrating what he perceives as a victory for his ego. But this isn't just another bizarre social media outburst. It's a chilling glimpse into the mind of a man who believes he is untouchable. Adding to the spectacle, the official White House X account shared an image of Trump wearing a crown, adorned with a US flag pin on his lapel. The timing of this post couldn't be more alarming, as concerns grow over the current administration's erosion of democratic institutions. Protests have erupted across the nation, with citizens taking to the streets to voice their fears that Trump is steering the country toward ruin. Meanwhile, the State Department, under Secretary Rubio, has issued a directive to all overseas units, consulates, embassies, and diplomatic missions to cancel subscriptions to major media outlets like The Economist, The New York Times, Politico, Bloomberg, Associated Press, and Reuters. Notably absent from this list, The Washington Post, now owned by Amazon's Jeff Bezos. This move is a clear attempt to silence critical voices and control the narrative, a tactic eerily reminiscent of authoritarian regimes. Trump's self-aggrandizing behavior is not just a quirk, it's a manifestation of a deeper psychological issue. His niece, Mary Trump, a clinical psychologist, has long warned about his megalomaniacal tendencies. For those interested in understanding the roots of his behavior, we've covered this topic in a previous video. Be sure to check it out for insights from someone who has known Trump since childhood and has the expertise to analyze his psyche. This isn't the first time the world has seen leaders like Trump. History is littered with figures like Hitler and Stalin, who cloaked their authoritarian ambitions in grand promises, only to bring suffering and destruction to their people. Trump's rhetoric and actions suggest he's cut from the same cloth. And while the world is more interconnected than ever, this globalization means the fallout from his actions won't be confined to the US, it will ripple across the globe, affecting us all. What's equally troubling is the complicity of those who put him in power. Many of Trump's supporters share the same delusions of grandeur, blind to the catastrophe they've unleashed. Soon, they too will find themselves buried under the rubble of a nation torn apart by his leadership. But let's not forget, Trump isn't alone in his megalomania. Figures like Elon Musk exhibit similar tendencies, wielding their power and influence with little regard for the consequences. The difference is, Trump holds the highest office in the land, and his actions carry far greater weight. The stakes couldn't be higher. Humanity has spent millennia evolving democratic systems because they are essential to our survival and progress. Trump's reign threatens to undo all of that. Either we remove this mad king from his self-appointed throne, or we face unimaginable suffering. As the saying goes, those who think they are kings or prophets are often just mad. Trump, it seems, has declared himself both. And while some, like Brandon Dale Biggs, claim divine visions of a red wave of patriotism, the reality is far darker. Trump is no patriot. He's a destroyer, and the world is waking up to the danger he represents. Thank you for watching The American Impact. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, democracy is not a given, it's a responsibility. Don't forget to explore our previous video on Trump's psychological profile for a deeper understanding of the man behind the crown.